Okay, this is a YTH2246 Husqvarna. What we're going to do is we're going to take off the starter, and the starter gear is broke, so we'll get right into it. I've already taken most of it apart. First of all, you got to take this cover right here off. Now this is the air cleaner cover. It's got these 4 connections here, so you have to take all those 4 loose. By the way, this is the Intech 727 or 725 cubic inch or cc. And the part number is 441777. And then also another thing is that you have to find the serial number and the engine number. You have to have the engine number. The engine number is right here. On top of this cover right here. They have a video put out by Briggs & Stratton. It's very confusing because they say the engine number is here. Well, where's here? This is a valve cover right here. And the engine number is right up in here. Now it's all rusty. I had to take a wire brush and clean it off so I could read it. So take this off. Lay it aside, you're going to need it later. Take the air filter out. We're going to have to replace it. It's no good. It's right here. I'll show it in just a minute. It's right over here. Take that off. Put it aside because you're going to need it if you want to go to the parts store and get another one, or order it off Amazon. Take this off. These bolts here are terrible because I broke 2 of them just trying to get it off. This one broke right here. It broke because probably at the factory where it was made, they cross-threaded them or some other stupid thing. There was a reason why these broke. Maybe they were cheap bolts. I don't know. But 2 of those broke. So here's one of them right here. There's one over here. That one broke back here on the back of it near the oil spout. There's one over here in the front. Right here. I believe that one broke also. Here's one. It's repetitive because this side is basically a little bit like the other. There's one back here, very difficult to get off this one back here because you have to use an end wrench. You can't get it with socket. Here's one up here. Right there. This mower had been sitting for a long time. Mice had made their home in it. You have to take this off. These bolts right here were holding this little cover on. They're very small and they're easy to take off. And then clean this off also. And I had to clean this off real good. Lay that aside. Take this cover off. Now we have to go back over here. Here's what broke. This gear right here. It's plastic. If I can show it here. What broke was this gear down here. It's plastic. It's really cheap. They have several of them you can buy for like a small price. And another thing is that I had to cover where the intake is because I don't want grass and stuff and little pieces of fiber or whatever to get in there. So I put masking tape over top of it. But any tape will work. There was a bolt also. There was a bolt right here, in here, and that is right here. That kind of bolt. It's got a screwdriver slot on it. For safety reasons, take the battery loose. You're going to have to take this off, this connection, and take this wire loom cover. Take this wire loom cover, take it, put it over top of your oil spout, put it down here. This goes to the lights. Put it down here. Also disconnect this so that you can get this bolt out right here. This is one of the bolts that broke. There's a bolt under here. Gotta take that off. And it is 8mm. Alright, very difficult to see it, but back here is one of the bolts that I have to remove. Way back there. That's it, right in front of my finger. Then there's another one over here. Right back there, right there in front of my finger. Here's one of the bolts. Now this other one, about impossible to get out. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. Okay, in order to order your part, you might need some of this information. This is This is my particular mower. But this is the model number right here. Now they have so many model numbers that it's ridiculous, and I'm not sure why. Also, this is the type, and you might need that number. This code right here, that was on the valve cover. I did not need that information. Now this right over here is the information of how to order it on Amazon. Just go to Amazon, put some of this information in here, and then click on it, and this information should come up, and you'll get a picture of the gear. Now this is a Briggs & Stratton part, and this is the number that you really need right here. 695708, that is the part number. That's the Briggs & Stratton part number. Okay, I'm going to have to show you some things about this starter. First of all, this thing here, this little metal piece, was on top of this starter right here, and it had a snap ring. Here's the snap ring, and snap ring is very small. Snap ring is this diameter right here. About that diameter. And I had to get that out of there. That was very tough to get off of there. I had to use 2 screwdrivers to get it off, small ones. But it goes around this groove right here at the top, and then this goes on like this, like that. Now what broke here is the gear. This gear broke, and it's got a sort of a screw type of device here to make the gear come up. So it's going to work like this, and I'll show you. It works like this. It's compressed. You got to have this spring on it also. And the spring goes on here. You're going to have to depress this spring in order to make it work. And then when this is disengaged from the ring gear, and I'm going to show you what the ring gear looks like. When it's disengaged from the ring gear, it's going to be down maybe like this, maybe up a little bit higher. I'm not sure exactly where it goes, but because it's like a screw, it's going to come up like this, come up against this top up here, but it can only go up so far, and then it will engage with the ring gear. So now let's look at that ring gear. Okay, here's the ring gear right here. If you have a clutch on a car, a lot of times the ring gear will look just like that. That little black area right there. And I believe that that is plastic also. It happens to be on the bottom of the flywheel. This is a very big flywheel. This motor, this engine, is 725 cc's, which is fairly big. Some car engines are close to that. I'm not sure exactly how many cc's those are, but I know that Volkswagens, some of those used to be 1900 cc's. So about half of a Volkswagen engine. A little bit less. The coil does not look that great. It looks kind of rusty to me. The coil is right there. Maybe I should have ordered one, but I didn't. Okay, here's the parts diagram. Apparently, I had gotten some things wrong here, but this is what you want to look for right here. This diagram right here, to show you the order of where everything goes. Alright, this gear is what is broke. And this spiral type of tower, whatever you want to call it, this right here, the gear goes on top of that. And then next up will be the spring right there. And then there is another washer, a spring washer. Yeah, the spring washer looks like this. And the way it looks in the diagram, the spring washer goes on top of the spring, and then this cap goes on top there, on top of the spring washer, and then the snap ring goes on top, on the very top. And the snap ring goes into that groove that I showed earlier. Alright, I've got the starter in place. There's two bolts, one over here and one over here. And these are the ones that have a Torx bit like this. And this Torx bit is a number 30. T30. So I tighten these really tight. You cannot over tighten these bolts because they thread into cast aluminum, and you do not want to over tighten them. So now make sure that this is tight. This is the starter connection. Okay, next thing is you're going to have to make sure, let me move this over a little bit. The next thing is you're going to have to make sure you get this connection right here. This one.